Yo, what's up guys, Jack here, and today we're taking a look at some possibilities for alternate weapon skins in Battlefield 1. So a few weeks back I put together a video on custom skins for BF4, how they'd look and if they would fit into the game or not. Some of them were more elaborate than others, kind of CSGO style, and others were much more subtle, and I think those ones would actually work in a Battlefield game. Obviously most of these would not work at all in Battlefield 1 with it being a World War I game. It's got a pretty serious gritty tone to it, and really you'd like to have period accurate weapons that were appealing and looked good whilst at the same time nowhere near the ridiculous scale. So once again I asked Shadow6 to help me out with this, and we put together some designs and came up with a few World War I Battlefield 1 weapon skins. And where did we use them? Well, on Hardline. I'm sure most of you know this already, but there are several older guns in Battlefield Hardline. Most of them are the Syndicate weapons, some of them from World War I and some from World War II. Perhaps Battlefield Hardline was subtly hinting the direction that the Battlefield franchise was going in. And to install these skins, you have to use the cinematic tools. Again, you can't use these on a normal ranked server. So what do we have here then? Well, from World War I or predating it, we've got the Winchester Model 1887, the M1911 pistol, the M1903 rifle, and the Lewis gun, known as the Syndicate gun in Battlefield Hardline. And from World War II, we've got the M1a1 Thompson submachine gun, and finally the M1 semi-automatic carbine. So Hardline actually has 4 guns that were used in World War I in it. Perhaps this is more than just a coincidence and rather a hint to what was coming. Either way, let's take a look at some of the custom skins we've put together here. So in reality, during World War I and II, soldiers would do stuff like engrave or etch their weapons with insignias, patterns, numbers, kill tallies, etc, that sort of thing. So we thought that's probably what would look best in game, keeping it subtle but still desirable. Let's take a look. And first up, we've got 2 variants of the M1911. The first is a kind of floral pattern across the board, most of it on the slide on the top and the silhouette of a lady on the grip. This is actually based on some real versions. There's some really interesting looking custom designs on the M1911. It's just a really cool looking pistol. Another 1911 design here. It's a bit more personal, this one. We've got the JF logo etched on the back of the gun near the rear sight, the wolf in the middle, and 369th on the front, standing for the 369th Infantry Regiment, otherwise known as the Harlem Hellfighters, who we think may make an appearance in BF1, and I'm pretty sure that we'll see the M1911 in the game as well. Moving on to the M1903, we'll probably see this in the game as a standard bolt action rifle, perhaps customizable with a magnified scope too, and here the Harlem Hellfighters snake insignia accompanied by a snake skin pattern and the tally on the front, and this operator it seems has already chalked up 17 kills. Next, the 1887. Modified versions of this were actually used in World War I as trench guns. Shotguns were very effective in those sort of combat scenarios, effective at killing people and also scaring the enemy. The German government actually protested against the use of shotguns in World War I, claiming they caused unnecessary suffering and damage. So this skin, as you can see, is very simple, just a battle scarred look, but I think this would look great with a floral pattern too. And our final World War I weapon is the Lewis gun, in Hardline known as the Syndicate weapon. Unfortunately, it has a modern scope and laser sight on it that can't be removed, but that won't stop us from trying, and if memory serves me correctly, there was a unmodified version of this at one point in the community test environment of Hardline. Once again going for the Hellfighters vibe with a few simple additions, the floral pattern on the barrel, and that runs through the central housing of the weapon, the snake insignia on there again, and a cheeky Grim Reaper on the grip. So that's all of the World War I skins covered that we have to work with in Hardline. How about World War II? Obviously we won't see these guns in BF1, but they do have a similar look to a lot of the World War I weapons, just a bit more refined and put together. Starting with the M1a1 Thompson, we've got 2 designs for this, and I think this sort of style could be nice in BF1. The varnished arrow patterns on the wood and the quote on the receiver, "Now I am become death," from the Hindu scripture the Bhagavad Gita, famously quoted quoted by Oppenheimer, a theoretical physicist who was a major player in the Manhattan Project, developing the first atomic bombs during World War II. The second Thompson design is the 128th American Infantry Regiment, otherwise known as Les Terribles. Please excuse my French pronunciation. They were given this nickname, which translates to the Terrible Ones, by the French during World War I for their fury in combat versus the Germans towards the end of the war, and whoever is wielding this one has scored 12 kills so far. And finally, our last skin, the Angel of Death M1. You can see a trend developing here, don't you? Floral patterns, etchings with maybe a quote or insignia on there. I like the look of this one. It's very simple and you can only really see the details if you get up close, and overall really, I think these kind of styles would fit into a game like Battlefield 1 very well. Colourful designs like CSGO style just wouldn't work. The subtler the better, I think, in this case. Now obviously myself and Shadow6 are not professional artists, and there are 1,000 people out there who could do this way better than us, but I hope this gives you an indication and maybe some ideas about how skins might look in BF1, because we've already seen that the game will have skins according to the pre-order bonuses and Harlem Hellfighter pack, and I think it's just kind of fun to put stuff like this together and guess how it might actually look in game for BF1. They had loads of camo in BF4, but it was just kind of boring and flat in my opinion. I'd prefer to see skins that are more sought after and rare and make the players work harder for them, and if you see them on the battlefield you think, holy crap, I want that, how do I get it? And of course this should all be totally optional for players. Lots of people don't like skins at the end of the day, so perhaps having an option to turn them off or on for the client would be pretty neat. So there we have it. As always, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and do let me know your thoughts, ideas down in the comments below. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, that would be great. If you didn't, a thumbs down, and I'll see you in the next one.